Reconnaissance is the longest phase of them all to a point, right? So before you ever touch the target network, there is a lot of reconnaissance that needs to be done. Most of it will not be directly targeting the organization's networks themselves. All you're trying to do with reconnaissance is gather as much information as you possibly can about that organization from as many different sources as is available. You want to, for instance, gather, if you can, what their email address schemes may be. Is it first initial, last name at mycompany.com? Is it full name full last name at mycompany.com, or so forth, right? Figure out what their email address scheme may be. Gather information on employees that work for the company and what they do in their positions, and possibly phone numbers, right? Or titles, right? Gather information about executives. That's usually the easiest of the pieces in reconnaissance, because executives have a tendency to put, or actually demand, that like their full bio is on the web page, right? Not necessarily understanding how much information and how much data they're really giving over to potential attack. Identify where people that work in a certain place go after work, right? Do they frequent some local tavern? Do they, meet in parks or whatever, wherever they may go to blow off steam after work? See if you can find those places. Those are good places to go and sit and just listen to conversation, right? You really don't even have to engage with, with individuals. Just, kind of sit there and, nurse a drink, whatever drink of choice, and just listen to conversations that go on around you. Local bars are an outstanding place to do reconnaissance, because people's guards are down and they've usually, had a couple adult beverages and they start talking a little more. You can find out a lot, about their environments, what managers are, liked, or what managers are disliked, or what managers have a tendency to blow up in meetings over things and things like that. These are all important data points for you as you move into the following phases. Many of these techniques are what we identify as open source intelligence collection, simply indicating that I don't have to touch the network or touch the organization's network or anything else. I can just find whatever is out there on the internet to exploit. And then I make note, right? I have, people call it a lot of different things. Sometimes when I'm working this phase, right, I call it my war book, right? And I'm just making pages and pages of notes of information that I might need or find interesting later. Then you'll move into a more active reconnaissance phase. At that point, you start kind of bridging the gap from open source intelligence collection to actually beginning to scan the network and do what we identify as footprinting and fingerprinting